Close your eyes, get out of your skin. Only this matters, let it in. If I could, I would be right here with you.
So, I'm really hoping I'm in frame, and I'm really hoping that you can hear me, because I'm right next to a really, really loud waterfall here. And usually it isn't a big, massive waterfall, but because we've had so much rain, because of Storm Alex, the waterfalls and rivers are just going crazy. Some places they're flooding. But I thought I'm not going to get a good sunrise, I'm not going to get a good sunset on my 2 days off. So I thought, what can I do? What can I shoot which doesn't require golden light when the sunset or the sunrise? And I thought, oh yes, Watersmeet. And Watersmeet is this absolutely beautiful river that runs through a valley in North Devon. And oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I ain't at the tourist spot right now. I might go down to the tourist spot because it's about 4:15. So I've got about 3 hours still, roughly, until the sun sets and we get no light. So I just thought I'd come early because I don't need the light and I can take all the time I need, because usually I'm rushing when I'm shooting sunset or sunrise. And maybe we will get a sunset tonight. There is a nice little seaside town right down at the bottom of this valley, and it's about 2, 3, 4 miles long, this valley. It's huge. So I'm not going to walk down there, I'm obviously going to drive. But it's a nice little town called Linton. Beautiful, beautiful Devonshire seaside town. And it's one of those places everyone visits when they come down on holiday. Yeah, I'm going to go down there and hopefully we can maybe possibly get a sunset down there. Like, my fingers crossed. But other than that, I've really come out today just to shoot some nice autumnal colours and some rivers, because this is the best time to shoot rivers, because after all this rain from Storm Alex, they're like times 100 the power and the force they were before, and it just makes your photos that much better. So I found the first bit of composition here, so there's trees falling over across the river, and it's like a little bridge, but it's covered in this thick green moss. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's also still alive, it's got its leaves coming out of it. Unfortunately, they haven't turned colour yet, and it's now starting to piss it down, so I'm going to make this quick. Yeah, they haven't turned colour yet, and they're still green, because it's only about the 10th of October or something, or the 6th actually, yeah, 6th of October. So we're barely even in autumn yet, so I might actually come back to this spot when we're later in, but I don't know when we're going to move house yet, but it's going to be soon. So yeah, I'm just going to make this quick because my camera's getting wet. Yeah, it's a beautiful shot to start the day. F16, 6-second exposure, ISO 100. You can't beat it. Absolutely.
Ticking clocks, I hope I'm getting through.
Bigger waterfall right here, and it's got two really prominent rocks in it, like the water is just hitting going either side. Absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately I can't get it shooting upstream because there's nowhere to actually get the shot, so the trees and bushes in the way. So I'm shooting downstream, but we've got some really, really nice foreground interest right here. We've got this very, very clear little rock pool with loads of little fine sand and rock in it, and it's surrounded by this really, really nice grey, rich titanium rock, which is covered in this green, beautiful moss. And then the river just rushes down over these rocks. And it's absolutely fantastic stick, and your eye is drawn to these two rocks that are in the middle of the waterfall that stick out that green at the bottom. Absolutely beautiful photo. Unfortunately, there's hardly any autumnal colours, but you've got a few leaves that are scattered around the foreground. But absolutely stunning this is. And you may have noticed I've got a new tripod, because the old tripod was getting a bit flimsy, so I've used my old main tripod as my new video tripod, because it couldn't extend out to its third level like this one can, which I really needed, because I lost one of the feet on one of the legs, so I couldn't pull it out because it's covered in sand. And this one is still so much smoother compared to that one, and it's the exact same tripod. Even though they're different brands, they're the exact same tripod. This one was a lot cheaper as well. But obviously this company here, KF, have taken this tripod and just get a few extra things on it. And yeah, they're the exact same tripod. This one's a lot cheaper though. So yeah, next time I'll be buying this one. But what a shot, guys! What a shot! 5 second exposure, F16, ISO 100. Can't be it. Can't be it.
So close your eyes. Do you feel the same? Only thing that matters, without change, I will let you into my mind's
So as I started to walk further upstream, the rain got heavier and heavier and heavier, until it was to a point where I just had to go back to my car and sit it out.
So, I've been walking down this path now, and I've seen plenty of like little waterfalls cutting into the path. And none of them really caught my interest except for this one. This one, which is something about it I really like. It drags you up this valley. There's like 3 or 4 little drops where it goes drop then flat and drop then flat. Absolutely beautiful. I have one of the main ones up there. It's this rock. And it's really nice dark brown. And it's got some really nice cracks going through it that give you some detail. And there's like a moss and old logs and roots covering some of these waterfalls. And it's so beautiful. And it just leads you up into these trees up into the valley. And, I've got the polarizer on still. There's water all over these leaves and they're really making it shine. And I don't want that. So that's come back quite far because I've got the 18mm on. And this is a crop sensor camera, of course, so I've got to get quite back. But yeah, 6 second exposure, F16.
falling tears that have been long asleep. The lights are out and heaven's open. We can be everything we want. Oh. Stop the clocks, the bees are humming in between the contrasts of our souls.
So I really hope you can hear me. I can barely even hear myself. But I've come down this little muddy path right now. I hope I can get back up. Yeah, well, I've made this really rough little waterfall here. Well, not little, it's big. But you can't really get down to this. No one else really shoots it. And there's no one else here. I'm all by myself. But it's absolutely beautiful. It's probably the best one yet. that part here, I couldn't. So I had to go to the surface here and bounce on a rock, a mossy green rock. To get the shot of this river coming down with cars straight through the top, sharp right, and goes down even further for another waterfall. And we've got autumn leaves all around us. They're not quite deep, but they're still pretty nice. And yeah, the wet water is reflecting off these flat, beautiful rocks. And you have to see the image to appreciate how beautiful it is. So yeah, absolute beauty. We're getting the famous shot now of Waterfalls, and it's where the bridge crosses over the river. It's absolutely amazing. It's the absolute perfect time to come. Well, it could be better. It could be about early November. Early November will be the best time for the colour over at the peak. But we have awesome colours here, and the river is so full because of all this constant rain the last 3 or 4 days. And it just looks so epic. So 4 seconds ago, we got the F16, and usually you can't get this shot in the middle of the bridge because this is where people usually cross, but no one's here because it's 5:45 now, and no one's here, just me, and usually it's getting away. It's absolutely great shot. Absolutely, I haven't got the one before. Usually I go out to this way and just get the single walk up there. But today, no one's here, so I'm going to get a 50 shot one. I'm actually sick of getting that same shot.
The lights are out and heaven's open. We can be everything we want. Stop the clocks, the bees are humming in between the contrasts of our song.
I really wanted to start walking back to the car, and it's about a mile back to the car as well. But I couldn't. I just saw this absolutely beautiful tree, and it's the best autumnal tree I've seen so far. The leaves are absolutely bright yellow. I'm not quite sure what tree it is. I don't know. But it's absolutely beautiful. And I've got beautiful ideas for composition. Gosh, the river goes back now. Right to parallel here. So the river just going like that. About my gear, because the camera I have is not really waterproof. It is in a way, but not, you know, the torrential rain like it was a minute ago. And it'll only be a matter of time for another return. What an absolute stunning shot. Probably is my favourite on the plane. And even my little lens light is completely soaked. But luckily, it's not raining now, isn't it?
Yes, I understand that some of these leaves are a bit blurry, but the only 2 options I had was to either leave it and get the painterly effect that I actually kind of wanted, or to do 2 exposures, one for the water and one for the tree, which I should have done in retrospect. I should have done both, so I had 2 options, but I prefer the painterly effect of the long exposure with the leaves anyway.
So anyway guys, I think it's about time I end this episode. because the weather is getting really, really extreme now. So I have to take some care for it. Luckily I bought this waterproof coat, but these clothes aren't waterproof. And my bag is down a waterproof bag on top of it. So I really got to go back to the car. I'm going to walk the road though this time. I walked down the road, I'm going to walk the road. And I think that'll be a lot better than walking back up the road. There's more trees across the road. So hopefully I should be covered from some of this rain. But I've got to go. Yeah, 6 o'clock now, I've got about 40 minutes till sunset. I might have to drive down to Lincoln if I can get back to the car and see if I can catch the sunset. I really don't know. Anyway guys, it's starting to piss down again. It already was pissing down, but I really need to piss again. So I'm going to go guys. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. I didn't think I would enjoy myself coming down here in the rain and shooting in the valley to the nice sunset on the beach. But I'm ready to do more of it, so I'm glad I come out. I'm glad I did. But I really want to make more content for you guys. I'm not just going to stay home and say, screw it, I'll make a couple of videos next week, hopefully. But I really need to start getting back in my schedule, guys. Yeah. Please give me a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new for more content like this. Anyway guys, see you next time, alright? Bye bye.
Get out of your skin.